Well, good afternoon, and thanks for watching THV11 News at noon. We want to start with developing news about the COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer's vaccine has now received full approval from the Food and Drug Administration, and we want to hear from you this afternoon. Do you think that this news will encourage more people to get the shot? You can weigh in on our poll. It's at thv-at-noon.com/vote. Pfizer's vaccine now carries the strongest endorsement from the FDA, which says it has never before had so much evidence to judge a shot's safety. Since its emergency use began in December, more than 200 million doses have already been administered in the U.S., hundreds of millions more worldwide. Health experts hope final full approval will encourage those on the fence about getting the vaccine to finally roll up their sleeve. The move may spur more vaccine mandates by companies, universities, and local governments. We're going to have more on that tonight on THV11 News at 5 and 6. President Biden is also scheduled to address the nation about the development in the fight against COVID-19, and that's set to begin right here after THV11 News at noon. You can watch that on air and online. And remember, keep weighing in on our poll. Do you think that Pfizer, now having full approval from the FDA, will encourage more people to get the shot or not? Well, you can see the live results right there, and it says about 73% saying yes, 28 is saying no. As you can see, it's happening in real time, which we love to see as more of you go to thv11.com/vote. Now, the FDA's announcement comes as vaccination rates here in Arkansas continue to climb. More than 22,000 doses of vaccine were administered since Friday. Right now, more than 1,162,000 Arkansans are fully vaccinated. 351,000 are right behind them, waiting to get their second dose. And Governor Hutchinson is hopeful the FDA's full stamp of approval will help increase our numbers even more. And if you'd like to learn more about the vaccine or where to get one, we've got you covered. Text the word vaccine to 501-376-1111, and we'll send you a link to those resources. The second week of school is underway as well, and the Little Rock School District is sharing the number of COVID-19 cases it logged during the first week. Between August 13th and 20th, the school's COVID team logged 103 positive cases, 94 in students, 9 in teachers. Another 463 people in the district were quarantined. And just over the weekend, the school reports an additional 23 quarantines and 5 positive cases. A new CBS News poll finds 69% of parents are concerned their child will get COVID in school as the debate over mask mandates and other precautions is intensifying nationwide, and cases are skyrocketing among kids 12 to 17. That's up almost 1,400% since June. Meg Oliver visited a New York City school with Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona to learn about his plans for a safe school year.
It's going to help everyone mentally.
Jeremy Augusto and Nana Aquanin want to go back to school.
When I was in school, I felt safe. I felt like I was actually learning something.
Both are vaccinated and play on the football team at Harry Truman High School in the Bronx. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona recently visited their school to talk with student athletes about a safe return to the classroom and the field.
We need our student leaders to say, don't be the reason you cancel my season.
We know that for their, not only their academic needs, but their social and emotional well-being, they belong in the classroom.
Is it safe to open full-time with the Delta variant?
I wouldn't ask anyone to do something that I wouldn't do for my own children. My children are going back to school. I'm fortunate that my children are of the age where they can get vaccinated. And I know some parents will say, well, my children don't have the vaccine. But the reality is, if we follow the mitigation strategies, we can keep our children safe.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, in just 3 weeks, the number of COVID cases in children nearly tripled, though hospitalization rates remain low at only 2%, and deaths are rare, with less than 0.03% of cases involving kids. A little over 54% of 16 to 17-year-olds have received 1 dose of the vaccine, and among 12 to 15-year-olds, that number is 45%, the lowest vaccination rate for any age group. The football team at Harry Truman all plan to be fully vaccinated when school reopens in September.
One main reason I got my vaccine was to be like a role model for my other teammates, because I know some of them are like hesitant.
Part of the safe return to school comes with a recommendation from the CDC that all students and staff wear masks. And just last week, President Biden ordered Secretary Cardona to take action, including possible legal action against governors who ban masking in public schools.
We need to follow the mitigation strategies that we know work. Get the politics out of this. I know my own children, they don't want to wear masks. I have mask fatigue myself, but if it means giving my children an opportunity to be in school, I'm for it.
For any state planning to defy mask requirements, Cardona says the Biden administration is prepared to investigate through the Office for Civil Rights. 8 states have banned them altogether. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
And while the U.S. Secretary of Education doesn't have the authority to mandate vaccines for teachers, Cardona says he would support it. He added that 90% of educators across the country have gotten vaccinated. Well, 12:05, and there is concern of more flooding and even tornadoes as Tropical Depression Henri is slowly churning its way through the Northeast today. It made landfall as a tropical storm in Rhode Island yesterday, leaving more than 140,000 customers without power. In New Jersey, the storm flooded areas in the central part of the state, causing some people to be evacuated. And dramatic video captured a lightning bolt striking One World Trade Center as Henri approached New York City on Saturday. That same night, Central Park recorded its wettest hour ever. Nearly 2 inches of rain fell from 10 to 11 p.m. You know, absolutely crazy what's going on there with Henri. Are we going to be seeing some of the effects at all here in Arkansas?
Well, we're not going to see anything from Henri. That's going to stay well to New England. Here, it's going to be quiet. It's going to be hot. Temperatures have already started to warm up, Amanda. Look at this. It already feels like 104 right now at Little Rock. So heat exhaustion, heat stroke, a possibility. Heat illness can sneak up on you very quick, so make sure you stay hydrated, stay cool. Here are some other feels like values across the state. It feels like 110 in Searcy, feels like 110 in Camden, and it feels like 106 in Stuttgart. Visible satellite, not too much showing up, just a few of those cumulus clouds. Temperatures already into the low 90s, even 95 right now in Camden, 93 in Searcy, and the humidity, yuck. Dew points are into the 70s. You go outside, it feels like you just got out of the shower with all that moisture in the air. Winds not helping too much at all. And here are the heat alerts today. Heat advisories in effect for all of Arkansas with its heat indices 105 to as high as 110. And the county shaded in the purple or the magenta color, you're under excessive heat warning because it could feel hotter than 110. Today, primarily dry, slim chance of stray shower over to the east. Temperatures soaring into the mid to upper 90s. The heat's going to continue over the next several days, and I'll have more details on that later.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Rescue crews are searching for dozens of missing people in Tennessee, west of Nashville, an area hit by catastrophic flooding over the weekend. The record-breaking rainfall killed at least 22 people. Jesse Mitchell has the latest from Waverly, Tennessee.
It is heartbreaking to see.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee said the aftermath of the flooding is a devastating picture of heartache.
Tremendous loss of life, a number of missing people on the ground, homes washed off their foundations, cars strewn around the community.
In the city of Waverly, roads turned into rivers, the water destroying anything in its path. Several children were swept away. Floodwaters ripped twin babies, Ryan and Riley, out of their father's arms. Their bodies later recovered. Also recovered, the body of a longtime friend and ranch foreman for country music legend Loretta Lynn. He was swept away in waters that overtook her ranch in nearby Hurricane Mills. Lynn posted on her Facebook page, "Only God could build a man like Wayne Spears." Meanwhile, among the missing, 2-year-old Kellen, snatched away from his mother and 4 siblings.
They were on the clotheslines hanging on. It was a wonderful trip.
The rain fell so quickly, many people were caught off guard by the danger. Amber Elliott climbed to the roof of her car with her children.
All the houses down this way are off foundation. There's cars in the driveway. The scariest thing ever for me and my kids to be in, being a single mom.
My mama being rescued.
And amid the tragedy emerged stories of heroism. Neighbors helping rescue neighbors, even by jet ski.
We need a lot of Jesus.
Clayton Calicott is a junior high principal who's helping his neighbors who lost their homes.
Unfortunately, the ones who are still missing, some of those are children. And we just trust God's hand that he's going to minister and take care of and heal our community.
We've seen debris piles like this and cars still fully submerged in the water up and down for miles. It will take clearing piles like this to fully comprehend the scope of the devastation. Jesse Mitchell, CBS News, Waverly, Tennessee.
In the last 24 hours, the U.S. and its allies have evacuated approximately 16,000 people out of Afghanistan. This comes as there's a growing threat of attacks on U.S. forces and the thousands of people huddled outside the airport, all hoping for a safe escape. Thousands of Americans remain trapped in Kabul, and the U.S. is working on ways to get them safely to the airport. The Defense Department is now enlisting the support of 6 airlines to help clear the backlog of refugees from processing centers like this one in Qatar.
This will increase passenger movement from the intermediate staging bases, temporary safe havens, to the United States.
President Biden's deadline to complete the withdrawal from Afghanistan is next week. He now says he may be flexible with the timeline in order to finish the evacuations. But the Taliban says it will not accept an extension of the August 31st deadline. The president plans to discuss the situation with G7 leaders tomorrow.